Everyone. I'm here to give a presentation on the topic nailer and finger approach. Uh, let's start with what is nailer and finger approach. As an aid to validation process, a three-step approach was formulated. The first step is to build a model that has high face validity. The second step is to validate model assumptions. The third step is to compare model input-output transformations to corresponding input-output transformation for the real system. Now coming to the first step, that is face validity. The first goal of the simulation modeler is to construct a model that appears reasonable on its face to its user. For this, users should be involved in development process of the model. Another advantage of user involvement is that it increases models perceived validity and credibility. Sensitivity analysis can be carried out to check model's face validity. In this, model user is asked if model behaves in expected way when one or more input variables is changed. The simulation modeler must choose the most critical input variables for testing. Example for face validity is that in most queuing systems, if arrival rate of customers were to increase, it would be expected that server utilization, queue length, and delays would tend to increase. If a model built for such a system does not follow a similar trend, user may assume that model is not accurate. The second step is validation of model assumptions. So assumptions fall into two general categories. First one is structural assumptions and second is data assumptions. Structural assumptions involve questions of how the system operates and usually involve simplification and abstraction of reality. Bank example for this is customers waiting in one line versus customers waiting in many lines. Customer serves on first come first serve basis versus customer served in a priority basis. These structural assumptions should be verified by actual observation during appropriate time periods. Now coming to data assumptions, they should be based on collection of reliable data and correct statistical analysis of data. Bank example for data assumptions are inter-arrival time of customers, service time for commercial accounts, etc. Now the last step is validating input-output transformation. Here model is viewed as input-output transformation. That is, input parameters are fed into the model and output is generated. It is this correspondence that is being validated. Instead of validating the model by predicting the future, the modeler may use past historical data which has been served for validation purpose. However, one necessary condition for this is that some version of the system under study exists so that the system data under at least one set of input condition can be collected to compare model predictions. If the system is still in planning stage and no operational data can be obtained, complete IO validation is not possible. This type of validation increases modelers' confidence that the model of existing system is accurate. It can be done using the historical input data and Turing test. And next, we have validating IO transformation using historical input data. The data that is used as input to the model can be artificially generated data. An alternative to generating input data is to use actual historical record, then drive the simulation model with the historical record and then compare the model output to system data. In the bank example, we use the recorded inter-arrival and service times for the customers. The procedure and validation process remains similar to the approach used for system-generated input data for the model. One important point to note here is that all the input data and all the system response data, such as average delay, should be collected during the same time period. Otherwise, the comparison of system response with model response, such as comparison of delay, could be misleading. Next, we have validating IO transformation using Turing test. In this, this is used in addition to statistical test or when no statistical test is readily applicable. In this, we utilize person's knowledge about the system. Example given here is that we present 10 system performance reports to manager of the system. 5 of them are from the real system and 5 are fake reports based on simulation output data. If the person identifies the substantial number of fake reports, we interview the person and get information for model improvement. If the person cannot distinguish between fake and real reports with consistency, we conclude that the test gives no evidence of model inadequacy. Thank you.